Alright guys, so this is why it's important to not get distracted and have people down in the garage when you're working. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not my family's fault or anything like that. It's just life. But when I have my kiddos down there and everybody out in front of the garage asking me questions and doing stuff, it just kind of tends to, you know, sidetrack me for a moment. So my first instinct was with this oil pump. This is the OEM oil pump, and I put the new, I haven't put the video up, but I will put the video up because that is how you change the front main seal. I did do the seal right. The rear main seal went fine. All the other seals are good. But my instinct was I have a crank pulley that's kind of wobbling a little bit like this, and I was like, you know what, I really should just replace that crank pulley and replace that oil pump. Because for years it's been doing that. It's just been that wobbling, you know, like this. And I put it off, you know, everything was leaking. I was just like, fuck it, when I finally take it all out, I'll do it. And this one I was like, oh, you know what, I'll just replace the seal. Well, that's where I definitely went wrong. The seal wouldn't slide back on the crankshaft very well. And it was kind of rough the way it seated in there. In the video you look at it wasn't too bad or nothing, but for someone that's done this a lot, I've replaced oil pump seals plenty of times. I was like, it just didn't seat in there very smooth as I'd like. And as I was thinking before I even started this, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that oil pump's probably warped. It eventually, when it's been sitting like that pulley, all that wobbling, it will tend to hollow out just a little bit, not enough that but enough that it's not going to seal properly, you know, ever again will it really sit the way it should. And you can see where that got pinched when I had to push it on the crankshaft, and it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see. And the big thing I didn't pay attention to, I checked all the main caps, but these stress cracks you can feel, especially up here. You can feel with your finger. Like, you can drag your nail across them and get, you know, this whole plate was getting ready to crack on the back. And I checked the caps, the screw caps, and, you know, they were good. I always say I recommend, and they recommend to Honda to check them. But had I seen that, you know, this probably has 200,000 on it, maybe less, maybe more, depending, because it was pulled out of a junkyard, so I don't remember which, or I never knew, sorry, the exact amount of mileage. For my wife's car, it had a RD2 motor in it, so it was from a front-wheel drive one. So I would have never, you know, chanced this. I would have been like, screw it, just go buy a new oil pump. And I was just so highly distracted, I ended up putting it back together, and it ended up leaking through here out the front. The oil pan gasket ended up leaking. I cleaned it ridiculously good this time. Sanded it down a little bit. You got to make sure you don't put any gouges in it, but sanded the metal down a little bit and cleaned it all up. Last time I cleaned it up, I was just tired and stressed out, and it, you know, still had pieces of gasket here. So I noticed that actually started to leak a little bit. So if you do your oil pan, do it right the first time. Generally, that's what I do for myself. I always say that, and I was just tired because you guys know the project I've been going through with the suspension, motor, transmission, everything with this, plus all the other cars. So I was a little exhausted. So here I am redoing the work again. Got to retime it. Well, one thing I didn't do too is, and this completely, this space, this is my own fault, you know, for just fucking not thinking. That cam seal was leaking. And it was coming all the way down there. It was on the, if you could see, this side of the timing cover is all dirty. And this is after I cleaned it. So I'm going to replace both cam seals. Unfortunately, I got to wait till tomorrow morning because they're not in. But yeah, guys, try to check your side. I replaced every other seal in the damn thing, but I forgot all about the cam seals. And I should have just bought the whole kit. Instead, I ended up buying it all separate because I was going through it. So that ended up costing me more money. But not by a huge amount, so that doesn't really bother me. It's not really a big difference buying them separate as opposed together. You save maybe $20 in the long run. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that. Here's the new oil pump. It's still in the bag, but you can see no stress cracks on that plate. I mean, you can look right in there. Even through the bag, you can tell new gaskets for everything. So instead of wasting your time, go with your gut. That's the one thing I always tell myself, and when I stick with my gut, I always am fine. And for some reason, I was just like, no, I'll just do the front main seal, and I paid the price for it. So, yeah, but new harmonic balancer under here, and new oil pan gasket Fel-Pro. Honestly, I've had the best luck with Fel-Pros more than anything. Even over some OEM gaskets, which is really strange. A lot of people say no, go OEM, and then when I go OEM, don't get me wrong, they're good. But the Fel-Pro one, and all the stuff I've done, especially with oil pan gaskets, has never leaked. I've never had a problem with it, and I can seriously say that since I was a teenager, I've never had a problem with the Fel-Pro gaskets. And I'm in my 30s now, mid-30s. And I've been doing them since Preludes, all kinds of, at least for Honda guys. The Fel-Pro gaskets have been great on the oil pan. Valve covers too, been all right. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to go over that really quick for you guys and let you guys know. Trust your gut on that and just go with your instinct. If you think you should replace it, and yeah, maybe be some more money, but it's a lot less headache in the long run. I could have been doing the body work by now, but yeah, I'm back in here redoing the timing again, redoing the oil pan gasket, oil pump, and everything, on that side attached to it. So, but after this, she should be good. And then it's on to the body work.